If you've been practicing for the SAT for a while, then this question is very easy to categorize. We can look at it, we can see almost instantly that it's a point of intersection question. Sometimes it's called a system of equations. They all look kind of the same. In many cases, we have no choice but to do the long algebraic solution, so either using substitution or elimination and work our way towards x and y. Here I'm not going to do that for two reasons. Number one is I'd be nervous about that because the way that these equations are set up, it's definitely trying to get me to make a mistake. They have the x's. Normally we have all the x's on the left, then the y's, then the equals. Here, the x's and the y's are switched between the two equations, so they don't line up nicely. So they're hoping that I don't recognize that and I make some sort of algebra mistake trying to correct for it. That's the first reason, and that's me just being nervous about certain things in algebra. But the more important thing is that I don't need to find x and y because x and y can't be any number in the universe. Normally, that's why we need to do algebra, is that there's no way for me to guess x and y out of the blue because they can be literally any number. But the good thing about a multiple choice test is it limits our guesses. X could only be four things: -5, 3, 4, or 9. Y could only be three things: -2, -8, or -6. So what I would do is I would use guess and check here because it's going to let me use arithmetic instead of algebra. And arithmetic is much safer, much less prone to careless mistakes. So my normal move actually is to try choice B first when I guess and check. And in this case, I'd be even more likely to do it because it's maybe the most simple answer. It has a small positive number and then every choice is a negative number, but at least it's only one compared to choice A, which has two negatives. So again, I'm always thinking about where I'm likely to mess up and I'm trying to do the laziest thing that's going to prevent the mistake. So all I have to do is plug in for x and y. So the top equation is easiest. 3 times 3 plus 4 times -8 is supposed to be -23. So that's 9 minus 32 is equal to -23. And yes, we don't have a calculator, but that is true. You could do, you could flip it around if you want and do -32 plus 9. Some people have an easier time of that. But either way, you're going to get -23. And so what we need to do next, though, is that's not enough. We need to try the other choice or the other equation because a point of intersection needs to work in both equations. And a lot of times the SAT makes the wrong answers work in one of the equations, but not the other. And so this is our way of kind of just making sure we're not getting fooled. So, okay, now we just need to make sure we line things up correctly. So now y is first, so it's 2 times -8 minus 3 is equal to -19. -16 minus 3 is in fact equal to -19. And there's my proof that choice B is correct. And again, I knew that was the answer because I have the answer key, but I genuinely would have tried choice B first. And with guess and check, we don't need to try the other answers. Once we've proven that ours works, we're done. So I would not need to do anything else. You could solve it algebraically. I'm not going to here, but we will see other point of intersection questions where you really don't have this option because the answer choices aren't as neat. In this case, if they're points, plug the points in. Make it easy.